not shocked. Za'Darius and Kash Doll broke up? No.
I told y'all it wouldn't last.
Man, so Kash Doll just confirmed she broke up with Za'Darius Smith. She said, at this point in my life, I just need to be single. Za'Darius a great guy, but we just can't see eye to eye. And with all due respect, we decided to part ways.
If you thought the most shocking celebrity breakups were behind us this year, think again. Because Kash Doll just set the internet on fire. The Detroit rap queen didn't just confirm her split from NFL star Za'Darius Smith. She exposed the real reason why, and it's so petty, so unbelievable, that fans are calling it one of the most controlling relationship rules they've ever heard. According to Kash herself, Za'Darius had a so-called house policy, a demand that, behind closed doors, she never wear makeup. No lipstick, no eyeliner, no foundation, nothing. He wanted natural all day. Every day. At first, it sounded like an insecure man's quirky request, until Kash revealed just how far he pushed it. Sources say arguments turned into shouting matches, Za'Darius policing her face before events, and even calling her out in front of friends for breaking the rule. And now, the internet is divided. Was this about natural beauty or a deep-seated control issue? But here's the twist. Kash didn't just spill tea. She dropped a bombshell about what she found in his phone that made this rule look hypocritical and possibly humiliating. And, trust me, you're not ready for what she discovered. Before we dive into the jaw-dropping hypocrisy and the phone discovery that has everyone gasping, we need to rewind, because Kash Doll and Za'Darius Smith's love story didn't start in the shadows of control. Oh no. It began like something straight out of a celebrity fairy tale. Kash Doll, born Arkisha Knight, was already the undisputed rap princess of Detroit, confident, glamorous, and unapologetically feminine. Known for her high-gloss fashion sense and flawless makeup looks, she was a walking billboard for luxury and self-expression. When she met Za'Darius, the NFL linebacker with a magnetic smile and a bank account to match, it looked like a power couple made for magazine covers. They were spotted together for the first time at an upscale lounge in Atlanta. Kash was draped in a custom diamond choker, eyes framed with perfect lashes. Za'Darius, in a crisp designer suit, looked every bit the man who could match her energy. Fans loved it. Instagram loved it. Even gossip blogs couldn't find a flaw in their budding romance. From there, things escalated quickly. Public dates in Miami, vacation photos in the Bahamas, coordinated red carpet appearances where Kash would be in a shimmering gown and full beat, Za'Darius in matching luxury fits. They were glamorous, picture perfect, the kind of couple people rooted for. But behind closed doors, there were whispers. Friends of Kash say that Za'Darius wasn't just into her natural beauty, he was obsessed with it. At first, we thought it was sweet. One insider claimed he'd tell her she didn't need makeup, that she was naturally beautiful. But then it started turning into rules. Like actual rules. The first sign came at a small private gathering. Kash had gotten glammed up with a subtle smoky eye and glossy nude lip. Nothing over the top. But Za'Darius reportedly leaned over and whispered in a tone that made her freeze. "I told you, no makeup at home." That night, friends say the vibe between them shifted. Kash laughed it off in public, but later she confided to someone close that it didn't feel like a preference anymore, it felt like a demand. Still, the couple kept their public image spotless. Za'Darius would post sweet captions about his queen, and Kash would comment with heart emojis. But the makeup issue kept popping up. Before events, he'd allegedly tell her to wipe her face clean. Before going out for dinner, he'd suggest she go barefaced. Even at times when she had business obligations that required a certain look, he'd push back. By mid-relationship, it wasn't just a preference, it was a rule. A rule that Kash, the self-made glam goddess, felt was chipping away at who she was. What made this even more confusing was how much Za'Darius loved the attention they got when she was fully glammed for public events. Fans started noticing that the only time Kash wore makeup was when they were in front of cameras, and even then,
That's on her, she can't wear wigs. Somebody's strict on here, it's strict over there. I said, how you fumble, Keisha? People just go through things and, live life. Life happens, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fumble nothing, though. Good woman and her dad's a loser, but now she got a beat down there. Hey, I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. I'm happy. Happy. Because I got something that better me. You know, everybody got to find a person that better them.
Seemed toned down. Privately, the tension was building. Kash's close friends started voicing concern, but she brushed it off, telling them she wasn't trying to start a fight over makeup. But here's where it starts getting twisted because, according to multiple sources, Za'Darius's no makeup rule wasn't about natural beauty at all. There were cracks in that reasoning from the start, and Kash was about to discover something that would make the entire relationship explode in public view. And when the truth came out, it made this so-called rule look like nothing more than a cover for something much darker, because in Za'Darius's phone, there were pictures, messages, and videos that completely flipped the narrative. And once Kash saw them, the breakup wasn't just inevitable. It was instant. It was a random Tuesday night when everything changed. Kash had been scrolling through her phone after a late studio session, minding her business, when she noticed Za'Darius's phone buzzing non-stop on the nightstand. Normally, she didn't check his messages, she wasn't that type. But something about the way he snatched a phone earlier in the day, mid-text, and left the room without a word, stuck in her mind. When curiosity finally got the best of her, she reached over, tapped the screen, and froze. The first thing she saw wasn't a text, but a gallery, a hidden photo album titled Natural Queens. Her stomach sank. Kash clicked. Inside were dozens of pictures of women. Not just any women, models, Instagram influencers, random girls, all without makeup. Some were selfies, others were screenshots from social media. And there was something creepy about it. The way he had organized them by skin tone, hair type, even facial features. But that wasn't the worst part. Kash noticed that while the women in these pictures were barefaced, they were also dressed provocatively: lingerie, bikinis, suggestive poses. It didn't take long to realize that the no makeup rule wasn't about empowerment or appreciating natural beauty. This was a fetish, a control thing. And then, she saw the messages. Scrolling through, she found entire conversations with women who looked eerily similar to her but stripped down, without the glam. Za'Darius had been deeming them compliments like, "You're perfect without all that paint." Wish Kash would keep it natural like this all the time. Her heart pounded. Some of these messages weren't just from last week, they went back months. He'd been actively comparing her to these women, all while pretending he was just protecting her natural beauty. Kash took screenshots, lots of them. And then she hit the jackpot: a voice note from Za'Darius to one of the women, laughing about how he made Kash take off her makeup before bed. Man, she was tight about it. "But I'm telling you, I got her trained now." Those 5 words, "I got her trained now," lit a fire in Kash like nothing else. This wasn't about attraction. It wasn't about intimacy. This was about control. She didn't even remember hitting record, but she captured her reaction, her voice shaking, her breath coming fast. The Kash doll the public knew, confident, untouchable, sharp-tongued, was gone in that moment. All that was left was a woman realizing she'd been played. By morning, the decision was made. She was done. But Kash being Kash, she wasn't going to go out quietly. No, she was going to burn this down in public, the same way he'd humiliated her in private. So she went live. Her fans saw it first: Kash sitting in her car, no makeup, hoodie pulled up, eyes red from crying. She didn't waste time, since everybody wants to know why me and Za'Darius ain't together no more. Let me tell you, he's a liar, a hypocrite, and a control freak. And I'm done letting him make me feel small. She laid it all out. The no makeup rule, the screenshots, the voice note. And then came the twist that set the internet ablaze. Oh, and ladies, while he's out here preaching about natural beauty, check his phone. I promise you'll find he's chasing after every woman he sees online. And half of them, they look just like me, but without the power I got. Within minutes, the live was clipped, shared, and trending. Za'Darius Smith shot to the top of Twitter's trending list. Memes flooded in. Fans were split between outrage and disbelief. But then, just when it seemed like Za'Darius couldn't make himself look any worse, another woman stepped An Instagram model named Tiana posted her own set of screenshots showing Za'Darius sliding into her DMs while still dating Kash, complimenting her real face and telling her, "Kash be doing too much sometimes." The betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore. It was public, humiliating, and undeniable. And in that moment, the breakup went from a personal heartbreak to an industry scandal. But Kash wasn't done because she had one more bombshell that would flip the whole conversation on its head. The next 48 hours were a blur of chaos, hashtags, and digital warfare. Kash's live stream had already blown the lid off Za'Darius's no-makeup hypocrisy, but she wasn't satisfied with just exposing the DMs. No, Kash doll wanted receipts so airtight that even his teammates, his fans, and the sports press couldn't spin the narrative in his favor. And that's when the real fire started. Early the next morning, Kash dropped a series of Instagram stories with one word in bold white text over a black background: leaks. The first video showed her sitting in her living room, scrolling on an iPad. The camera zoomed in on a private group chat, not hers, but his. In it, Za'Darius was joking with his boys about how Kash wasn't allowed to wear makeup outside of media days. One friend even replied with laughing emojis, writing, "You really got her on lockdown, bro." But the most gut-punching message came next. "I tell her it's for her skin, but really I don't like the attention she gets all glammed up. Ain't no other dude looking at my girl like that." The possessiveness, the control, the fact he admitted it wasn't about natural beauty at all, it was about making sure she didn't get attention from anyone else. Fans immediately labeled it insecurity in HD, but Kash wasn't just playing defense, she was going for the jugular. Her next post, a screen recording of Za'Darius sending flirty messages to Tiana, the Instagram model who had already shared her DMs. But here's where it got nasty, because Kash's screen recording also caught him talking trash about other women in the industry, including some of Kash's friends. He called one female rapper a clown in clown paint, mocked another's wig, and even implied a famous R&B singer looked way better when she wasn't hiding under a pound of Mac. This wasn't just a boyfriend gone rogue. This was a man systematically tearing down women's appearances in private while performing as Mr. Supportive in public. Social media detonated. Twitter Spaces popped up titled "Za'Darius opposed." YouTube gossip channels pumped out emergency live streams dissecting every screenshot. Even athletes' wives and girlfriends were subtweeting vague messages like, "Ladies, listen to your gut. Control is not love." But the story took an even darker turn when a third woman came forward, and she wasn't some random IG model. She was a makeup artist who had worked with Kash doll on multiple projects. Her name, Alina, and according to her, Za'Darius had once confronted her backstage before a photo shoot, telling her to tone it down because Kash wasn't supposed to look like a different person. Alina claimed she brushed it off as banter at the time, but after seeing Kash's leaks, she realized it was part of a bigger pattern. To prove her story, Alina posted a muted but crystal clear backstage video showing Za'Darius walking up to her makeup station, pointing at Kash, and gesturing wipe it off with his hands. The expression on Kash's face in that video, a mix of embarrassment and anger, one that fans said they'd never forget. By this point, the backlash had reached beyond hip-hop and NFL gossip. Sports journalists were covering it. Women's advocacy groups were tweeting statements about appearance control as a form of emotional abuse. Even a few celebrities chimed in, with one Grammy-winning singer writing, "Telling a woman she can't wear makeup is not a preference, it's possession." And just when the internet thought it had the whole picture, Kash dropped the shocking reveal that blew the entire case open. She went live again, this time calmer, but with a glint in her eye. In her hand, Za'Darius's old phone. She claimed he left it behind at her house after they broke up. And in that phone, she said, was the real reason he didn't want her wearing makeup. Her words made the chat go insane. "It's because the more I shined, the smaller he felt. And I got proof he's been chasing women for years who didn't intimidate him. And guess what? Some of them were married." The bomb she dropped next? She named one of the women the wife of a retired NFL legend and said she had proof. Za'Darius flew her out on a boys' trip weekend last year. The live ended without showing the receipts, but she promised they were coming. The cliffhanger was set, and now, the internet wasn't just watching Kash and Za'Darius, they were watching every NFL WAG wives and girlfriends page, waiting for someone to confirm or deny the allegations. The situation had spiraled from a breakup into a league-wide scandal, and Kash Doll was holding the detonator.by the next morning. This wasn't just Kash Doll vs. Za'Darius Smith, this was a full-blown cultural event. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and even Facebook any groups were dissecting every frame of Kash's lives, every pixel of those leaked screenshots, and every syllable from her accusations. Sports blogs had a field day. Headlines like Za'Darius Smith's no makeup rule backfires as Kash Doll goes nuclear, and control, jealousy, and infidelity NFL star under fire were plastered everywhere. ESPN didn't touch the married woman bombshell directly, but one analyst slyly said, "Some players fumble the ball, others fumble their whole reputation." And then came the celebrity reactions. Rappers who were cool with Kash rallied to her side. Megan Thee Stallion posted a cryptic Instagram story. "We putting our lashes and red lips on today, baby. Let's get cute and be outside." Cardi B liked multiple tweets dragging Za'Darius, including one that read, "You don't own her face, sir." Even Nicki Minaj, who rarely jumps into other people's drama, liked a shady meme of Kash Doll with a caption that said, "The only thing natural about you is how naturally you getting dragged right now." But not everyone was siding with Kash. A handful of Za'Darius's NFL buddies posted stories calling the drama messy and urging people to mind their business. That only made it worse because fans immediately saw it as an attempt to protect him, not hold him accountable. The real earthquake hit when Angela Bryant, a well-known sports influencer and wife of a retired NBA player, went live with her own opinion. "Ladies, when a man starts making rules about how you present yourself, it's never just about the makeup. It's about control, insecurity, and breaking down your confidence until you stop feeling like you deserve better." Her clip went viral, sparking thousands of duets on TikTok. Women shared their own stories of partners policing their appearance, creating a larger conversation that completely drowned out any sympathy for Za'Darius. Meanwhile, NFL WAGs were on high alert. Gossip accounts like @TNTLockerRoom and @WagWatchdog began posting blind items about a certain defensive star and his alleged history with taken women. Fans immediately connected the dots, commenting, "Kash already told us who it is." And then, the married woman's camp made their move. An anonymous statement appeared on a major gossip blog claiming the retired NFL legend's wife categorically denies any romantic involvement with Za'Darius. But here's the kicker: the statement never denied that she was in contact with him or that she had been on the boys' trip. That one omission sent conspiracy theories into overdrive. The sports community wasn't the only one reacting. The beauty industry chimed in too. Popular makeup brands like Fenty Beauty, Huda Beauty, and Morphe posted supportive messages about women's rights to choose how they present themselves. One tweet from Fenty Beauty simply read, "Wear it. Don't wear it your face. Your rules." It got over 200,000 likes in 24 hours. Fan reactions ranged from full-on sympathy to straight-up dragging. One viral TikTok stitched Kash's live with a clip of Za'Darius on the field, captioned, "Imagine thinking you can bench press a woman's self-esteem." Another had over 1 million views, showing women in full glam holding up signs that read for Kash. But there was another camp, the Chaos Chasers. These were the fans openly begging Kash to drop the married woman receipt, tagging her on every platform. "Girl, we ready." And his career. Even hip-hop radio hosts couldn't resist. On The Breakfast Club, Charlamagne tha God said, "Kash Doll might have just changed the game. If she drops that proof, it won't just be shade, it'll be a hurricane." Za'Darius himself stayed silent, which only made the speculation worse. His Instagram went dark. No stories, no new posts. But internet sleuths noticed he had unfollowed several women, including Kash, Tiana, And suspiciously, the retired NFL legend's wife. By Friday night, the hashtags #Za'Darius exposed, #free Kash, and #no makeup rule were trending in multiple countries. And then, just when the buzz seemed to hit its peak, Kash hinted she had more than just screenshots. She posted a single photo to Instagram, a silver USB drive sitting on a marble countertop. The caption? Monday. The comments section exploded. What was on the USB? Video proof? Audio? Flight records? Whatever it was, the industry and the public knew one thing. This wasn't over. Not even close. Monday morning hit like a thunderclap. Kash Doll didn't say a word, didn't go live, didn't post a video. She simply uploaded a black screen to her Instagram story with one sentence in white text. If he thought screenshots were bad, wait till y'all hear his voice. The internet went feral. Within minutes, thousands of fans were refreshing her profile every 5 seconds, waiting for the drop. Blogs were posting countdown timers. Even sports betting sites were jokingly offering odds on what Kash was about to unleash. And then, at exactly 12:01 p.m. it happened. Kash posted a 15-second audio clip. The voice was undeniably Za'Darius. The tone was cocky, almost smug. Bro, she's too busy worried about her lip gloss to know I'm on a plane to Miami with her. The her was emphasized, almost taunting. But Kash didn't name names. She didn't have to. The internet had already decided this was the married woman she had hinted at. That wasn't the only bombshell in the clip. In the background, a faint laugh could be heard. A woman's laugh. It was just enough to send social media spiraling. Theories flew in from every corner of the internet. Some fans slowed down the audio and claimed they recognized the laugh from an old Instagram live of the retired NFL legend's wife. Others swore it was Tiana. A few even claimed it was neither, that Kash was setting up a third woman reveal. By the clip had been reposted by every major gossip page, sports, blog, and hip-hop news account. TMZ was allegedly working to verify the audio, while the Shade Room simply captioned it. Kash Doll said receipts season is open. Za'Darius' silence became deafening. He didn't deny it. He didn't call it fake. Nothing. That void of response only fueled the flames. But just when fans thought Kash had emptied the chamber, she posted another photo of the USB drive. This time, the caption read, "Only the beginning." Whole conversations 9 minutes long. 9 minutes. The idea of hearing nearly 10 straight minutes of Za'Darius casually talking about cheating, control, and his real feelings about Kash was enough to break the internet. And that's when an unexpected twist exploded into the drama when Kash didn't even orchestrate. Late Monday night, an anonymous tip landed in the inbox of @LockerRoomLeaks, a notorious gossip page that had been covering the situation relentlessly. The tip claimed that one of Za'Darius' own teammates had been feeding Kash information for months. Not because he liked her, but because he wanted Za'Darius out of the team. If that was true, it meant this entire breakup and scandal wasn't just a personal implosion, it might have been part of a calculated career takedown. Fans immediately started playing detective, combing through the roster, old interviews, and Instagram likes to figure out which teammate could be the mole. Suspicion fell on 3 players, all of whom posted cryptic stories within hours. One simply posted the popcorn emoji. Another wrote, "Some of y'all gonna learn about loyalty." The chaos was uncontrollable now. This wasn't just a breakup. It wasn't just a cheating scandal. It was shaping up to be a multi-layered betrayal involving lovers, friends, teammates, and possibly even sponsors. Kash ended the night with one final post, a blurry screenshot of a phone contact saved as him with a series of red heart emojis, and a timestamp from just 2 weeks ago. The caption? "You knew, and you lied to me anyway." No one knew if him was Za'Darius, the alleged teammate mole, or someone entirely new. But one thing was certain, this story had one more chapter coming. And when it dropped, it was going to be nuclear. The world wasn't just watching anymore. They were waiting, refreshing, obsessing, and Kash knew it. And now, here we are, standing right on the edge of what could be the most explosive, revealing Kash Doll's entire career and maybe the most career-ending moment of Za'Darius Smith's life. We've got a USB drive holding 9 full minutes of audio, a mystery laugh that could belong to one of several women, an anonymous teammate allegedly feeding inside information, and a trail of control, betrayal, and manipulation that's way deeper than any of us imagined. But the real question is, who's lying? Is Kash telling the full truth? Or is there more to this story than she's letting on? Did Za'Darius really think he could control Kash and still run around with other women without ever getting caught? And most importantly, who is the other woman? Is it Tiana, the retired NFL legend's wife? Or could there be someone else in the shadows we haven't even considered yet? We are officially in uncharted territory here. Every single day, new pieces of this puzzle are surfacing, and every time we think we've connected the dots, Kash drops another breadcrumb that flips the whole picture upside down. And that's where you come in. Drop your theories in the comments right now. Tell us who you think the mystery laugh belongs to, whether you believe the teammate mole theory, and if you think Kash will actually release the full 9 minutes of audio. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because trust me, the next update is going to shake this entire story to its core. When Kash finally presses play on that full recording, we might be hearing things that will make every headline so far look like a warm dash up. So stay ready, because the real storm hasn't even started.